Everybody, welcome back to Lettermen Row. I am Austin Ward, joined in the virtual film lab by now former Ohio State, former Rutgers offensive lineman Jonah Jackson, who is doing the best he can to keep training for the NFL draft. It's been an interesting couple months since the end of his career. Jonah, thanks for joining us. How are things going for you?
Thank you for having me, Austin. Very excited to be back on the show. Things are going great. I lucked out. One of my good friends from back home, he has a gym that I'm able to work out in. We're keeping our social distancing right. It's only two of us down there. We're staying 6 feet apart. But, I feel like this time is definitely a time to take advantage of watching film and, just honing in on my craft and being the best player I can be for come late April.
So for you or for Josh Myers or Wyatt Davis, your buddies from the Buckeyes who played in the trenches, when you're trying to do this training and everyone's trying to do social distancing, I mean, you're used to being face mask to face mask with somebody, and you got to be physical to be an offensive lineman. How does this work? Like, what are you guys doing to, stay in shape, to keep fine-tuning that technique?
Well, you don't always need a guy lining up across from you. You can always, just work on keeping your feet sharp and pass protection, working on your sets, constantly changing up different techniques around blocking. You could find a sled, maybe get one of your buddies, put on a mask, put on some goggles, some gloves, and hold a medicine ball. But, there's a lot of techniques out there that you can use, and just simply running off the ball and just doing your steps is adequate enough job to, keep your feet sharp and keep you ready for come the season and training camp.
Yeah, for you specifically, I know that, NFL teams are trying to, stay in contact, set up, Zoom stuff like this and communicate with guys and do interviews. Like, if you're giving the sales pitch now, I know you had to do this at the Combine, but what are you selling with Jonah Jackson for these guys as you try to get ready there for the next level?
Jonah Jackson as a player, he's a ferocious competitor. He's ready to go whenever you need him. He'll be able to adjust to things on the fly. And then as a person in the locker room, Jonah will definitely be able to establish himself as a leader, somebody that is looked up to by his peers and, very helpful and selfless, like most linemen should be. And
a lot of teams found that out firsthand, the nastiness, especially Penn State. We've got that statement drive that you guys made on the way to that Big Ten title to break down right now. Getting your going through that film and breaking it down for us. Let's just do it. Let's roll the tape.
Let's get it going.
I called this a statement drive for you guys, Jonah, and it really was. I mean, every week, I'm sure you remember, or that whole week, we talked to you guys, and it was Penn State's defensive front was so good, and this was going to be the biggest test of the season. And then, unless I'm mistaken, I don't think you guys threw it once on this drive. Just went out there and mauled them up front.
Yes, sir. Right here, the first play of the game, we got a little inside zone read. So the backside combination with me and Thayer, we're working 54 up into the linebacker. Got a nice little finish block right there. The front side, they got their inside zone blocks going on. Wyatt looked like he was getting a little pop in there. Same with Josh.
You guys up front, you described this, like the way you work together. How quickly did that sort of chemistry come?
I mean, we were only playing together for 7 months. So I'd say probably within like that first week of training camp, things started really getting fluid and started gelling together. And I feel like that inside tandem, once we got that going, was unstoppable.
This play right here, when you're
little draw
one back there, and this is a perfect one for what we're talking about here. He's going right behind you three guys.
Yes, sir.
Is that just the coaching staff having confidence in you? Obviously, it's some in number one, but what's the thinking in a play like this and your job here?
So this is a draw play right here. So we're trying to get the guys to bite on a pass and then Justin flush out on a run. So right here, we knew that some type of weave or loop would be coming. So we were kind of firm. I passed off 54 to Josh and ended up taking on 6, leaving a wide open hole for Justin, just burst through for a nice game.
When those come in, especially on third down, like the confidence that you guys are going to run the ball, what does that say to a lineman?
No, it definitely sets the tone for the game. If a defense sees you running the ball on third down and you're not afraid to punch it down their throat, that's definitely a intimidation factor.
When do you know as an offensive lineman that you're going to have a good day? The guy across from you, what signs are you seeing?
I'd say if you watch the first play of the game and you see the D lineman you're going against on his back and you're up on top of him, that's quite the indicator right there.
We're running up that knockdown total again.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be talked about for your entire career. You're here to always stay for 1 year, and then the knockdowns are your legacy.
Right.
There are worse ways to be remembered, right?
I had to make it worthwhile.
Here you go, right here. Like this play, I mean, still getting to the second level. I think that, or at least coming out and firing. Like, I'm not sure how many people talked about it, like understood how athletic you have to be or how athletic you are to play up there in the middle for Ohio State.
Exactly. You know, especially in a play like that where we're just watching, or at the climb to the second level, you're facing guys, Penn State guys, Minnesota, Michigan State, all those guys that are, you know, top of the line athletes, guys that'll be playing on Sunday, and to be able to compete, you got to be athletic and just seal them off. And I felt like that's what we were really successful with, being athletic, being mean, and just being the best players on the field whenever we got in between those lines.
When you see JK finish a run like this for you guys, like that he's not shying away from the contact as well, does that get into your mindset as well?
Yeah, he's got the killer instinct in him like the rest of us. That's all we need.
That punctuation, like, I mean, that sort of probably, you know, it set the tone for the way we were covering the game. So for you to be in it, I'm sure, like, finishing off a drive like that, what did that do for the rest of the game?
Oh, man, you know, coming onto the sideline right after that, you see the defense eyes like, well, okay, we're getting rolling like this early. This is going to get fun. Man, you know, just being able to pummel dudes and drive down, what was it, 94 yards I think the whole drive was? Was that correct?
Yep.
You know, there's no better feeling than that. And having it on our shoulders and pretty much the fate of that drive going on us, being able to maintain blocks and drive dudes down the field, there's no better feeling.
Yeah, it started at one touchdown there, and, you know, biggest game of the season until a couple of the others after that. It was the biggest game to that point in Ohio State. Leaning on the big guys up front to get it done. Jonah Jackson, big part of that big win over Penn State in the Big Ten championship. Now he's getting ready for the NFL draft, but breaking down some of this stuff for us. Jonah, appreciate you taking some time to talk about offensive line play. We will see everybody next time right here at Lettermen Row for BuckIQ. See ya.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe below to get the latest videos from Lettermen Row.
We got Letterman Live, we've got the practice report, we got rapid reaction. Hey, and you know we got BuckIQ with Zach Bourne.
For sure. We got recruiting breakdowns with Berm. We got whatever you need. Ohio State football and Ohio State athletics, we've got you covered here at Lettermen Row.